Well, hello, this is Mike Manrod, and I'm here to just produce a quick, hasty, informal video to kind of supplement what we're about to share in terms of some interesting observation with Windows 11 single app kiosk mode. So again, I'm Mike Manrod, aka Crude Solutions, working with a lot of other people on this, so please see the acknowledgements page on GitHub. That's Crude Solutions Control Escape Host is where we'll post all of that. And the first thing I'll open with, and you're looking at the screen we're going to be demoing on. The first thing I'll say is what we're going to look at is, I think, fun, but not important. If you're making your risk prioritizations and you're watching this video and you have issues with Citrix, Avanti, unpatched internet-facing software, or you don't have your spoofing protection properly set up for O365 and those recent findings, then definitely don't focus on what's on this video. This is literally like my hobby and playing around with stuff for fun. This video builds upon a lot of great insights from John Hammond, from NotNordgaren, from many other people, Shama Woods, TechSpence, people who've kind of helped out and provided me with input, or I benefited from their videos or conversations. Um, and the second thing is I found something that I thought was really, really interesting running in Windows 11 on Parallels on Mac. And then I actually switched to doing proper testing on a bare metal device to validate my findings. And they were different results. So we'll talk about that. So what we're going to look at is an escape path for Windows 11 single app kiosk mode, aka attended access. And definitely check out the prior videos that John Hammond did a while back. There were 3 videos and they're all awesome on in much more detail about what we're going to talk about. And I actually retested a whole lot of the things he talked about, and because of his videos, those problems are all fixed. The next thing, housekeeping item. This is pre-recorded. I did a pre-recorded version of the demo without sound. We'll time travel, we'll pause a bit, but that makes it way easier than you listening to me stutter and stammer as I'm trying to debug or troubleshoot something. So with that, you can see we've got the Windows 11 single app kiosk mode. We'll walk through that path of something weird we see in particular when it's on Mac running Parallels. And then I'm not going to demo it, but I'll talk about what's a little less weird when we are running, just Windows 11 single app kiosk mode on bare metal. So with that, you can see we're going to pick on this VM right there. We'll go ahead and get started. That's me waving my mouse around for us. And one interesting observation is that the ways you escape to the settings menus are a little bit different between the two. But in this case, we do Command plus, and then that takes us to the settings. And then what we figured out is if you go over to Network and Internet, Advanced, and then expand out the Ethernet settings and hit Edit, you get a prompt. Now I'm going to pause it there to explain for a moment. When you're on bare metal Windows 11 kiosk mode, and maybe at other hypervisors, I haven't tested every hypervisor. In the testing I've done, it gives you a password prompt, and this is a throwback to Hammond of something he talked about, but then found something better after the fact. Again, watch his videos, but where it actually gives you a like the prompt, the UAC prompt to put in an admin password to unlock Ethernet properties. But strangely, when you're running on Parallels, running Windows 11 attended access on a MacBook, on Apple Silicon specifically, just to frame my complete testing criteria, it actually prompted, but then it lets you click yes without entering the password. And I've had it vary between taking 2 or 3 tries, and you can see on that time it fired the first time. So it's inconsistent, but you can see we've got our network properties. I'll go ahead and start the video again. And we're going to click configure there. Although install and uninstall and some of these other things have some interesting golden nuggets, but that's for another time. And you can see it's inconsistent, right? I tried to open Event Viewer, but I'm on the Events tab, View All Events, and I'm going to open it twice because the first time I tried to record this, I did it once and it didn't give me what I wanted. So I'm just opening a couple of them, and I found that produces more consistent results. So again, those who've dealt with kiosk hacking and particularly Windows kiosk mode, it can be a little touchy. The other thing I'll say is while I'm picking on Windows single app kiosk mode here, they actually did a really, really good job, right? Like they've improved a lot. Not only did they improve what I observed from prior videos of other researchers, but I also banged my head at this problem right away, which is why this is a pretty low risk finding, but I still think it's fun just because I had to work hard at it. I had to get advice from a lot of people. I tried a lot of things that didn't work, but this was the thing that did work with some caveats. So now I'm going to this open saved log under action, and then I'm just going to start typing in the file path for things I want to launch. And what I don't have in this video is I tried to launch these things a zillion other ways, and Windows Defender Application Control in single app kiosk mode blocked a lot. But you can see there, it let me launch a command prompt. By the way, if you're doing this on Mac, Option Shift Escape seems to move you through the tabbed windows. But here now I'm going to like task manager's fun. Now, of course, I have the benefit of knowing what worked and what didn't in this video because it's temperamental and I already did it. You can see I'm going to click run new task. One thing I thought was interesting that I'll pause here is notice that create new task with administrative privileges checkbox. I played with that quite a bit. Lots of really interesting escalated things I could do there if I could get to that point. But there were also some things Windows Defender Application Control just didn't allow from here. We will see that example now. Again, starting it back up, you can see no joy on PowerShell there. So then I pause for a moment awkwardly. I do this Control Shift Escape on Mac keyboard to get back to just launching PowerShell from here. And now you get to deal with my clumsy and awkward typing. That's always there for your entertainment. You might be like, Mike, why didn't you just click it? Well, then kiosk mode or WDAC, for whatever reason, clobbers it. You have to manually type it, even though autofill kind of knows what you're getting at. It knows, but it will not let you do it. So, and before you put it in the comments, yes, I know I did not have to case sensitive that. And voila, we have PowerShell ISE here. Another kiosk tip and escape to host tip. I've found in general, sometimes running PowerShell ISE sometimes will launch when regular PowerShell doesn't. So I did test regular PowerShell did launch here, but in this case, I just felt like doing ISE. So with that, stop the share in full screen. Again, not anything super important. I'd say the most important thing here might be what didn't work. I am a little bit curious why, when running on Parallels on a MacBook, it lets me click yes without a password, and it doesn't do that everywhere. That's like a real edge case here with launching Event Viewer. So I'm really curious why that happened. Ezra, Shama Woods, and I have been IMing back and forth on that. We'll probably do a little debugging on that ourselves. But again, thank you for your time in this short video. Have had a lot of fun with this. There may be a follow-up video later where I figure out the answer to Windows Parallel versus not, and/or a later date where I or maybe somebody else who watches this and reads it after me figures out a way to get this to work without an admin password on a bare metal box running Windows 11 single app kiosk mode with Edge. One thing I will say with Edge, there were more ways to escape on bare metal, right? Like there were other options such as Windows key A brought up a whole lot of options. One last thing in closing. Windows has improved a lot of things since I last tested this. I did a bunch of testing before Hacker Summer Camp. And I was able to mess with MSI update. I wasn't able to exploit that, but I figured I would eventually. They closed that door. So again, props to Microsoft. They're actually doing a lot to work on this. And when I compare it to other kiosk mode products that I've messed with, this actually seems more difficult than other things I've played with. So I'm actually kind of pleased with Windows 11 single app kiosk mode in terms of overall security posture compared to other things. But because I think it's good, it's even more fun to tinker with because it's kind of fun when, after struggling for a long time, when you finally get movement on something. Thanks. Hope you all have an awesome night. Bye.